Welcome to the Car Guys. This week, a special episode on all the new cars coming in 2020 and 2021.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get to the Geneva Motor Show because it was cancelled due to coronavirus.
So no one could get there.
But we thought we'd run you through some of the best things from the show.
Here we are at the Octane Collection and Fast Classics for a review of the cars at the Geneva Motor Show that never was.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we never managed to get to Geneva due to the coronavirus, but that's not a major problem though, because every manufacturer has done their own special launch party via YouTube, internet streaming and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, we obviously weren't invited to any of them, but we did get to stream them just like you fine folks.
Awkward, yeah. Why didn't we?
We're not important enough.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It does beg the question as to whether shows like the Geneva Motor Show actually will restart and ever happen again, because manufacturers now will have got a taste for the fact that they don't have to spend tens of millions of pounds on stands in far distant countries. They can just do bespoke videos presented by the Car Guys to show off their cars to their customers. They can also set up, as Ferrari has done, special events like Universo Ferrari, where they can show the cars in a lot more intimate detail to the customers that are actually likely to buy it, as opposed to a load of old scruffy chancers wandering around a exhibition hall.
Although, cut to us in a year's time at the Geneva Motor Show.
Wristwatch check time. I've got on a Rolex Explorer 2, a white face. This one's a little bit special though. It's an SAS edition, so they were given out to members of the SAS, so they're engraved, and it's a very, very special watch. I'm very privileged to have it.
It's absolutely lovely. And I'm wearing a Grand Seiko Quartz limited edition.
This one's just got a dab of yellow on it. It's just a beautiful watch.
It's just stunning. So what we're going to do, we're going to run through the cars that we pulled out, that we think are particularly special, give you our opinions on them, what we think, and hopefully you'll agree.
And also, which ones would we buy, if any? Do we have our names actually down for any of them?
No.
And if so, would we tell you?
No. Right, I think we need to kick off with probably my second favourite of the show. This is going to be controversial. My second favourite car unveiling of Geneva 2020 that never was.
It is?
The Alfa Romeo GTA.
That's his second favourite. That's his second favourite, folks.
So what do we think of the GTA?
It's pure sex.
and that's it, cut.
I mean, that's it. I mean, this is the car that we kind of always wanted.
And now they've just come in and they've smashed it. They've literally walked in with a baseball bat and gone, this is ours, we're owning it.
It's basically a Project 8 done by Alfa Romeo. The lines, the curves, the bulges.
Oh, that Supra spoiler, the hoopy Supra spoiler across the back.
The roll cage in there, the little badges, the touches.
Oh, that's the GTA. That's the GTA M.
Yeah.
Has a roll cage in it. So there's two versions. You can buy one with like 4 normal seats like a normal person.
Normal seats?
Or you can have one with no rear seats and just a roll cage.
Oh.
I mean, you're having that one, right?
Ooh.
Limited, 500 units.
Good.
Normal GTA.
Good. Keep it nice and, keep it away from all the peasants.
Peasants? Like us, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100 kilos lighter, 540 brake horsepower.
Which is, let's face it, enough these days. 0 to 60 just under 4 seconds.
But it is a stunning, stunning looking thing.
I mean, look.
I mean, look at these pictures.
Look.
The twin exhaust coming out the rear in the middle.
Exhausts.
I mean, I think I've just had an accident.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, we've had seepage, ladies and gentlemen. This is what this car does to grown men. I think it's the stance of the thing. It's just such a lovely, low, hunkered down thing. We already loved the Quattrofoglio, and I mean, this is epic. So whether we can get hold of one of these or not, stay tuned to the channel, but we will, rest assured,
our very hardest.
be trying. So up next, the Porsche 911, the 992 Turbo S.
So this is the range-topping flagship model in the 911 range. All of the horsepower that you could ever need and then some. They've gone up by almost 70 brake horsepower.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly bonkers. 641 brake horsepower, and it does 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds.
2.7 seconds?
But also, bear in mind that Porsche performance figures tend to be understated. So what I actually think we're looking at a 2.5 second car. That's like, you know, Bugatti Veyron type Chiron territory.
Yeah. I mean, that's just blowing everything else out of the water. 4-wheel drive, 4 seats, big thick leather chairs, 18-way adjustable, everything you could possibly ever want for a blast across Europe.
Yep.
And that will destroy pretty much anything else on tarmac.
But it does just look like
911.
I mean,
Are we getting bored with that now?
But it's very subtle. You look at all these bewinged, you know,
Behemoths,
super sculpted cars that we're going to be talking about in this episode, and this 911 is just so subtle. I mean, they've done a really stealthy job on it. Yes, you've got the wing on there, but it's not an enormous wing.
I think if you took the badging off the back, you would be hard pushed to tell the difference between that and another version of Porsche if you didn't know.
Well, especially as now the 992s are all wide-bodied cars.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's lost that sort of like aggressive extra stance that the normal cars would have.
The side intakes in front of the rear wheel arches have grown a bit, but not overly.
Yep.
It's a very understated car, right?
But also they introduced the convertible version at the same time.
Exactly the same time.
Have they done that before?
I don't know. You'd be able to tell us. And the convertible version is only 0.2 of a second slower to 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, but it still sort of looks like a pram. So
yeah, you can't buy one.
Not sure about that.
No, £165,000.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, optional extras.
Yeah, I was going to say, fortunately, Porsche don't really charge that much for options, do they? I think the Turbo S will have the extra fizz that was lacking on the 4S that I tested last year.
Yep.
I am quite excited about it. Whether I would prefer to go for the GT cars, I don't know. To be honest, as we get older, you kind of want all that performance but with a little bit more comfort.
Earlier, ladies and gentlemen, Damian did mention that you can't have bucket seats in every car, so this is literally the end of the car, guys.
18-way seats of the future.
That's for you, Zuckerman. 18-way seats. You've turned him.
Just me and you, Zuckerman. Me and you.
We're going to get stuck in now to a couple of the more controversial cars from the Motor Show.
Divisive.
Yeah. Do you want to start with the Bentley Balaclava?
I think we should. The Bentley Bacala, or Balaclava as it will forever be known.
Isn't that a Turkish dish, bacala?
It could be, yeah. I thought it was a Turkish extra that you get at one of those massage parlours. Can I have one of them bacalas, yeah? This is a car that I don't understand why it exists. I don't like any part of it. It looks vulgar to me. It's just a horrible, as you would say, bauble. The kudos to Bentley for obviously making it a properly limited car.
12. Literally 12. I don't get it. I don't understand why you're making it. Who is it for? Who's going to have one? What market are you going for?
Look at the grill on the front. I mean, it's like going bowling with pigeons. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're going to go for a drive, the wind's in your hair, you're going to get back, and you're going to spend the next 2 hours picking animal out of the grill.
The front treatment with the headlights is actually quite good.
I would sort of describe it as it's a Bentley Speedster, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way that they've got that treatment on the rear over the rollover hoops.
See, the rear of the car is just awful.
Yeah, it's an odd-looking old Hector. It's not for me,
no.
I have to say. There's zero chance of this ever coming near the Car Guys garage. McLaren 765 LT.
Wow.
Now, as you know, this is a car that I've been waiting for a long time. I've made inquiries of McLaren. I said to the dealer, let me know when it's coming. I've been very interested in that.
Obviously, they let you know early doors, and you didn't find out on the internet like everybody else did.
So what's exciting about this new car?
It's well established that the 720S is the fastest supercar that you can buy with real pound notes at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So for taking that as your basis and then upping the horsepower, losing some weight, increasing the downforce means that this car is only going to be quicker than that.
It looks bonkers. It's a 720 on steroids. It's got 4
quad exhaust out the back
pipes.
is just, yeah, that's the tits, that is.
4 fire spitting exhausts coming out the back. It's leery, it's very, very loose to drive, so they say, and if you look at the footage right now, you can see this thing hooning round a track all over the place, billowing smoke out the back. It's got nearly 600 pounds-feet of torque. It's got 754 brake horsepower, which of course translates to 765 PS, where the name comes from. Also, awkwardly, it's just similar enough to the 675 LT to completely mess you up when you're trying to remember what number it actually is. So thanks for that. 2.7 0 to 60, of course it is the same old 4-litre twin turbo engine that we're all familiar with, but tweaked and fettled. It's got Senna brakes. You can have Senna seats, although obviously you can also have comfortable seats as well.
It's got no carpet, it's got no stereo system, it's got no air conditioning, it's stripped out race car. It's 1,200 kilos dry. It's got new bespoke Pirelli Trofeo tyres on it as well. So
80 kilograms less than the standard 720S.
But it only gets to 60 miles an hour as quick as the 911 Turbo S.
Yeah, but it does it far more flamboyantly, with a lot more smoke and a lot more noise and a lot more rear end all over the place. And they're only going to make 765 of them. But remember, we've seen this before, haven't we? With the 500 limited edition 675 LTs.
Oh yeah. So it's 765 hard tops,
followed swiftly by
765 soft tops.
Presumably, it's a proper fire-spitting animal.
I think it will be amazing to drive. If it's anywhere close to the 675, it is going to be incredible.
But the big question, are we going to get one?
Well, no, because McLaren don't really like us very much.
I'm not sure that's the case.
Well, they didn't tell you about it after you pushed them lots and lots of times. We haven't pulled any punches when it comes to saying what we feel about McLaren.
True, but we own one.
We do own one.
We only say nice things about it because obviously it's a fantastic
and it never
car.
and our one never goes wrong.
No, exactly right. And in fact, Octane Collection have got one literally right there, which is just sold, a Spider one. So there's a lucky owner who's just about to pick that up.
And that 675 is one of the best cars that I have ever driven. The thing that would worry me is that if you're going to be paying big money for this car, it's not going to hold its value. It's not going to be collectible. Every McLaren has come off in a long way. Even the 675s have lost 100 grand in the last 18 months. The ownership experience or the ownership proposition, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think as incredible as it looks, being a McLaren owner is not
a great experience.
Pleasurable an experience.
Aston Martin V12
Speedster.
Monza. Oh, sorry. sorry. Cut that out. V12 Speedster. Aston Martin have decided to corner the market in hypercars.
They've come up with this unique idea that no one else has come up with, of a car with no windscreen and no roof in a sort of speedstery style.
Who else would think of this? I mean, it's just that's incredible. So this joins the Aston Martin Valkyrie, Valhalla. What's the other one? What was the other one?
Vision
Concept. Now the Speedster. There's going to be just 88 examples of these things. Yep. It's just showing what they can do.
I mean, my first thought when I saw it was, oh, that's quite Monza-y. And then you could argue that if you're going to create that type of car, what other shape is it going to be? It's obviously going to look like that. I do think it looks good. I do think it's quite a special looking thing. I think the fact that there's so few of them.
It's very Batmobile with that bit of
that Monza-y bit through the middle. It's very limited, which is great. It's got that whole Q branch sort of customization angle to it, and I like the fact that it's V12 and that it does look utterly stunning. What I don't like is all of that weird, questionable F18 Hornet weird plain decal
take that off.
There is no need for that.
I like the design exercise. However, it does feel a little bit like we found 88 customers out there who all have currently Valkyries on order. We need to sell them some more stuff. It's a good looking car, right?
Yeah.
However, I will say it is also slower than 911 Turbo.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no windscreen on it. Who cares about the performance figures? If you do anything more than 50, your whizzing little head's going to come off. It doesn't matter that you can do, 100 and what? It doesn't matter that you can do 186 miles an hour. Really? Just make the top speed
20. It's a pose. You're going to be driving around posing with crash helmets on in your local village.
Now,
the Cotswolds.
Now, whether any of these cars are ever going to actually meet a road and actually be driven, obviously.
Oh, that could be tricky.
Questionable, but hopefully they will. What's more interesting is, in that kind of a size, does that mean that we're going to get a V12 Vantage coming out?
Oh,
because
nice.
you know, they've just facelifted the new Vantage. They've just given it the new nose, which this
Thank
has also
God.
got. Yeah, and boy, does that look amazing.
Oh, it looks so much better with that new nose.
New Vantage Roadster, which has just been announced, which is a very pretty car and now has a proper nose. I mean, that is an awesome car.
Doesn't look like an MX-5 anymore, which is good.
Which is always good for an Aston Martin. But then now, couldn't you just perhaps shoehorn in the V12 into it?
I reckon it's coming.
Then we'll be talking.
It's definitely coming.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And then finally, maybe there's going to be an Aston Martin in the Car Guys garage, because of course at the moment we do not have one, and it's
Which
something that
everyone
you've
moaning
noticed.
about.
At 765,000 quid, I'm not sure. Well, it's definitely not going to be a Speedster.
It's not going to be a Speedster.
I don't even think we'd be invited to. I think we're talking creme of the creme.
Yeah. You have to be the top 88 people in the entire world who buy Aston Martins to get looking on this car.
But we do know someone like that, don't we?
We do know someone like that. Right, so here is my car of the show. Tell them what it is.
This is the brand new 4-seater Koenigsegg Gemera.
I mean, what a machine. It just looks fantastic. From a styling perspective, when I first saw the pictures of it and they said it was 4-seater, I was like, no, I've got the wrong picture. I must be looking at something different. Single door with that triple, quadruple helix movement on it. I mean, look at the size of the doors when they're open.
Well, it has to be, doesn't it, to fit those people in?
You know those big aircraft, the vertical takeoff and land aircraft?
Oh, yeah.
With the massive propellers on them. That's what it looks like. It looks like one of those with the wings up.
It looks exactly like that.
It's fantastic.
I think Koenigsegg are really on a high at the moment. You know,
Totally.
We saw that Regera at the Motor Show last year, and it was absolutely stunning. We then saw the unveiling of the Jesko, and everyone is excited about that car. And then this, no one really expected Koenigsegg ever to come up with a 4-seater, but now
it just blows your mind.
Now it's here, yeah. I mean,
it literally just blows your mind.
Christian von Koenigsegg, one of the nicest, most passionate, most driven people in the car business. It's just so good to see this car company doing so well.
Yeah, their styling is matching their engineering brilliance.
Yeah.
They've really turned into a properly mature car company now, recognised throughout the world by enthusiasts and engineers alike.
Yeah.
They've really stepped up their game. And I think this car, for me, is just the winner. It just wins at the show. It's got a 3-cylinder, 2-litre engine.
Yeah.
Right?
Total innovation.
Which in itself is fairly pokey. And they've chucked 3 electric motors onto this thing.
Yeah.
So just tell people what the torque figures are, because this is just blew my mind when I was looking at this. So I thought they put the wrong amount of zeros on it.
We know electric vehicles, they tend to have quite good torque
Fairly
and
decent
power levels.
Yeah.
And the Koenigsegg are right up there when it comes to leading the field in this. The Gemera has a peak torque figure of 2,581 foot-pounds, which is, wait for it, 3,500 Newton meters.
That is ridiculous.
I mean, this is like full-on Buck Rogers.
This is
stuff.
crazy. This is crazy. 0 to 60, just under 2 seconds. Just under 2 seconds. Top speed, 248 miles an hour. This car will do 50 kilometres on electric only as well. It's blown me away. Truly blown me away. And I think I'm going to get my dad to buy me one.
But also, Koenigsegg has just announced as well the Jesko Absolute. So this is the one that they are going to go for, that 300 mile an hour plus record, which currently sits with Volkswagen Group and the Chiron. Koenigsegg really want to steal that crown. It looks like basically a Jesko LT.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
So it's like a long tail McLaren from Le Mans. It's going to be very interesting to see what the top speed of that's going to be. How much? 5 million quid?
Yeah, plus taxes. So Pagani, in their constant limited edition, i.e. every car that you buy is a limited edition.
Have they replaced the Huayra yet?
No, this is called the Imola edition. This is based on the Huayra.
Right.
It's a tip of the hat to the Imola circuit. Apparently they've done 10,000 miles on track with this car to hone it for track use.
I remember when normal humans could buy Paganis. I remember when you could pick up a Zonda and it was about 200,000 quid,
Yeah.
which was still a lot of money at the time, but it was at least attainable. Now, unfortunately, Paganis have just ascended to the area
somewhere,
of absurdity. I mean, it's crazy. You could never really get one now. And they've just got these crazy, super expensive limited edition cars. So
That will sit in someone's collection and never ever be driven.
So as exciting as this car sort of is,
Kind of, not really.
I'm never going to have one. You're never going to have one.
No.
And in terms of the super exciting stuff that's been announced, I think that's pretty much it. So one thing we have decided is that out of all the cars launched at Geneva and all the cars that we've seen recently, the most exciting car out of all of them is that Lotus Carlton over there.
Yeah, that one,
That one.
literally, that green Lotus Carlton over there is the thing that fizzes us the most.
So that's the most exciting cars that have been launched so far. Many of them we have got no chance of ever getting and will sit in collections. Some of them there is a slight chance. What would be the one that we're most likely to get out of the ones we talked about today?
911 Turbo S.
And the Alfa Romeo.
Yes! But that's limited to 500, so that's going to be tricky.
Still doable.
But it is doable.
It's doable.
That car would be amazing.
So those are the two most realistic, most likely ones that you're likely to see in the Car Guys garage. Thanks for watching this episode on the Geneva 2020 show that never was.
I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked our take on all of the cars that we didn't actually get to see at Geneva. Don't forget to subscribe, leave comments, ding that notification bell for when we have another episode uploaded.
Don't forget to check out the website, TheCarGuys.TV. There'll be another Car Guys episode along next week.